Tiger style.
Tiger style. Yo. Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to with. Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to with. Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to with. There's no place to hide once I step inside the room. Dr. Doom, prepare for the boom.
What's cracking YouTube? It's me, your host Tune, aka the Comic Book Thug, once again bringing out a comic book review. This time it's for Weapon H issue 1. I was actually debating if I wanted to actually do a review on this because this is not the first actual issue of. I mean, it's the first issue of his solo story arc, but he had a story arc that introduced this character about how he was created. It was called WMD, and Weapons of Mutant Destruction. It came out probably like a couple of months ago, and even though it was okay, it wasn't nothing that really I was like I want to do a review on. But I read this book and I actually was like, look, this is a good number one. I want to do a review on this. So we're gonna jump into this book and I did a review on it. So yeah. So the book opens up and it's 5 a.m. and we see some people huddle around a fire trying to stay warm, and they're talking in Spanish, and they're basically talking about rumors about this Hulk mixed with Wolverine type creature that's 10 feet tall, and no one believes in. We see this guy in the background keeps on saying to himself, and his mind keeps thinking, keep your head down, empty your mind. And then we see this guy comes, and we find out that these are like workers that's waiting for work. You know how like not trying to be racist enough like that, but you know how like Hispanic people be like at Home Depot or be waiting for people that need help putting things together or moving things. This is how these people was. They were just waiting for some work. So after a day and I think a night of work, we see these other guys show up in the truck with bats and poles and bats, and they're here to rob the people of their money that they earned while they was working. And one guy they try to steal um steal the money of the guy who was trying to say keep your head down and keep my empty, when he just turned into Weapon H, and just completely just fucked up all of the guys that was trying to rob the people. So then we see 13 hours later we're in Alaska, and we see Clay. That's the guy who's actually Weapon H. We see him by a lakeside, and he's trying to cut off his fingerprints of his fingers, but every time he cuts off, it starts healing because you know he's mixed with the Hawk and Wolverine. So he sees his family, and they're by the lake, and he has flashbacks of his previous life and stuff like that. So he started walking off into the woods. 7 days later, and 7 days later, we see a helicopter drop off this team of archaeologists. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce, but you know, scientists, and they realize that they left their food supply on the chopper as it was going away, and they don't have no signal. So Weapon H and his human form, and Clay, we just gonna say Clay when he's in human form. Clay actually saw them and heard them complaining, so he left a deer by that campsite so they won't starve. So the next day he went to a ranger station and he called the police and told them that they better send somebody out because the people are stranded and they don't have food to last them more than a couple of days. So even so, we back to the team of scientists. It's three of them. It's a woman and two men, and they work for the Roxxon Corporation. You know, one of the biggest corporations in the Marvel comics. And they say, well, fuck it, we here. We might as well still do our job. So they went to go check on this site that was it was about it was a site. 'Cause they went to go check on this site about I can't really explain. It was about a site of people that went missing or something like that. I can't really remember what the site was about. Uh, yeah. No, I don't know. It was about a site that people were missing or something like that. So they found a grave site, and they found out that the people wound up turning into cannibalism because they started eating each other. So one of the guys started. He gives the other guy some jerky, and then he finds out that it's human flesh, but it was part of his plan. He actually wanted the guy to eat it because you know the story. This guy turned into a Wendigo, and if you don't know the story, the myth of a Wendigo, in urban legend is um, people who are trapped in forests or something like that, or if people that want to become cannibals. I'm sorry, cannibals. If they eat another man human flesh, they turn into a Wendigo. It's like a giant creature, like almost like a werewolf guy. So this guy actually turned into a Wendigo, and as he go, and we find out this the guy's like a robot or something. The guy that gave him the human flesh is like a robot because like his face is like half metal now. And as he's about to attack the woman, Weapon H comes and saves her life, and he starts fighting a Wendigo. We goes to Greenwich Village, and we see somebody watching watching the fight between the Wendigo and Weapon H, and we find out it's Doctor Strange. And then the book says to be continued, but then we go to Texas and we see a woman waking up and she's cooking breakfast for her two kids, and we realize that this is Clay slash Weapon H. This is his wife and this is his family. So she's still trying to get records on. She's still trying to get records on his death and stuff like that and his disappearance. But we also not only was Doctor Strange, but we see the Roxxon Corporation seeing footage of him fighting. They're intrigued by him. They want to see who this guy is. They want to find out who he is. And the book basically comes to a close with them saying they need to find out who this Hawkerine. Oh, I think that's how they pronounce it. Hawkerine is because it's the survival of the entire planet is at stake, and that's how the book ends. Well, I forgot to say. I'm sorry. The wife actually stole a file from the military base or something like that. And I guess her because her face is shocked as the book comes to an end. I guess she's reading like what's going on, like what happened to her husband, what happened to Clay, and that's how the book ends. Very good book. I mean, for me not to be interested in the WMD book that was basically this, just more detailed about well not detailed, it's more about his beginning, how he got the powers and everything like that. I was interested. Very, very good book. I think it's a pickup. I think it's worth seeing where this story is going. Hopefully it keeps up because I know sometimes books keep me interested. I mean, I could read them and then I'll lose interest real quick. But all in all, good book. That was my review on Weapon H, issue number 1. Like, subscribe, share. Follow my Twitter and my Instagram at Comic Book Thug. And as always, for me, your host Tune, aka the Comic Book Thug, have a nice day.
You're still here. It's over. Go home.